Hey guys, this is 182. Welcome back to Zoo Tycoon Complete Collection. In the last part, we finished off the DLC animals. As in, the animals that were added to Zoo Tycoon, either individually or in pairs, but not as a proper set. We're gonna do the next part that could be considered DLC, except that it's 8 animals, all from a single pack. So the Endangered Species pack is not considered DLC, it's technically considered an expansion, which is why it specifies that in Zoo Tycoon Complete Collection it comes with the Endangered Species animals. So we're going to go through them, and I think I should start by making sure that I can actually build exhibits. There we go. So next to the Asian elephants, I am looking for... I wish there was a search feature. Come on. There it is. The Javan Rhinoceros. I'm pretty sure it's Javan. It could be Javan, but given that it's from Southeast Asia, I'm gonna assume Javan, because that is one of the regions where a J sounds like J instead of Ya. That's my best guess, as having been a former student of linguistics, and not linguistics dictation, which partially comes with some linguistics, being able to identify certain sounds based off of region. And what do I do with this knowledge? I say foreign words in a game. What have I done with my life? Anyway, so the Javan Rhino yes, I know that's not a phrase. I know I'm combining different accents. I don't care. So, Javan Rhinos. Oh yeah, it could be a J. Yeah, J is a weird letter around the world, but it does need to exist. No, yeah, it does, because Y doesn't need to exist. Maybe I should make a rant about... Anyway. You're not here for lessons in dictation and why some letters are inherently worthless, and why no letter is the most important. Okay, may have made their exhibit a bit too big. Oh no, charging elephant. Oh good, it just rammed into its friend. Partner. Mate, that's what they're called. Needs dirt, rainforest floor. Rainforest. I don't know. I don't know why I did that. Nope. Did I put too much dirt? Barely. Now, rhinos would strike me as a animal species that actually wants a decent chunk of grass. Given that, if I recall correctly, they primarily browse on foliage with tall grass. I mean, I know in the African rhino they eat tall grass because that's basically what they can get. The African savannas. Anyway, needs rocks, foliage, shelter. How long have I been doing this Zoo Tycoon series? I keep clicking on structure to build a shelter. These technically have hooves. They do technically have hoofs. Now, they like the giant ficus tree. Giant ficus tree. There it is. Give you a little tree wall. They like dense forest. There we go. Now rocks. They should like the limestone rock. Also, I think I'm gonna need to build another restaurant. Just because the cost of running. No. There we go. The cost of running a zoo with this many large animals is a lot. So, the Javan Rhinos. The Javan Rhino, Rhinoceros sondaceus, sondicus, is the rarest of the world's large mammals. Javan rhinos are very large indeed, up to 10 feet long, 5 feet high, and weighing as much as 2 tons. Loose folds of dusky gray skin give the appearance of armor plating. This skin is hairless and consists of What are you doing, cat? Of polygonal. I lost my spot. Polygonal discs that resemble the scales of a reptile. Although Javan rhinos have small eyes and poor vision, their wide nostrils and erect ears give them an acute sense of smell and hearing. Okay, it took me a minute to process that one. I forgot that I had mentioned nostrils, so I was confused to how the ears gave them better smelling. The Javan rhino's natural habitat is the low-lying rainforests of Southeast Asia. These rhinos prefer to live alone, wallowing in muddy pools during the day to keep cool and evade insects. Insects are an ever-present plague on these rhinos. Side note, insects are an ever-present plague on most large mammals. That's why there are so many species of birds, most famously the oxpecker, that just live on large mammals, and for the most part, even predators just tolerate their presence because insects can take down large mammals. Javan rhinos are often accompanied by birds that feed on infesting insects and act as sentinels. Javan rhinos are mostly nocturnal, wandering and browsing for foliage after the sun sets. Their favorite types of foliage include shoots, twigs, and fallen fruits. The Javan Rhino has a prehensile upper lip, which is used to pull food into the mouth. These powerful animals can rip down branches and uproot trees to bring food within reach. Most rhinoceroses live alone, except for mating pairs and mothers with young. Although they spend much of their time alone, rhinos are communicative with at least 10 different types of vocalizations. Mating is generally preceded by a few days of courtship, a long chase, and a fight. Adult rhinoceroses are formidable beasts, not often in danger from predators, but mothers are sometimes required to defend their young from members of the large cat family. Rhinos attack with their horns, charging at speeds of up to 20 miles per hour. Mothers will remain with their young for about 4 years, guiding them gently with their horns. Calves stay close to their mothers for the first year or two of their lives until they are weaned. Females reach full growth at 4 years, males at 6 years. Javan rhinos can live up to 21 years in captivity. Once, the Javan rhino was a common sight across much of Southeast Asia, but after years of hunting and habitat loss, fewer than 60 members of the species survive today. All remaining Javan rhinos live in Ujung Kulon National Park in western Java. Even these few remaining animals are at risk from poachers and disease. Yeah, the Javan rhino, it should be no one's surprise, they are critically endangered. When they can live up to 45 years. So the people who handle the Javan rhinos are getting better at it. Yeah, critically endangered. Their only actual predator is humans, and not because rhino meat is tasty or rhino leather is good. It's the horn. Anyway, so there used to be 3 subspecies of Javan rhinos. 2 of them went extinct. So that's one of the animals that's really sad to talk about in this game, since, well, 1, it's critically endangered, 2, partially extinct. Yeah. Let's follow that up with a less depressing endangered species. This one isn't endangered so much because of like losing habitat or overhunting. Now, these ones are mostly endangered just because they only live on one small island and that's their natural habitat. They are, I think, apex predators there. Yes, I am talking about the Komodo Dragons, the giant monitors that live on the island of Komodo. Komodo is you saw it's in Polynesia, so it's a relatively small island for a species to survive on. But Komodo dragons are they're just excellent. I know I don't want to gush about them too much before I actually read off all the facts that I have on my list, and the facts that the game has. But, oh my word, they are amazing. They have earned the name Dragon. And if you want to go by Dungeons and Dragons terminology, they would be they are the closest in the real life Komodo Dragon is closest to the probably Dungeons and Dragons Black Dragon. And we'll go over why in a bit. So, what else do you need? You need gray stone. Oops. Okay. They like the mangrove tree. Mangroves. And Polynesian rocks. Don't think I hired a new zookeeper yet. Alright. Everything good in game? Now, Komodo Dragons. The Komodo Dragon, Varanus komodoensis, is the world's largest lizard. The largest specimen of this giant member of the monitor family was recorded at over 10 feet long and weighing over 300 pounds. The average Komodo dragon is slightly smaller, generally from 5 to 9 feet in length, and can weigh anywhere from 30 to 200 pounds. Much of the Komodo dragon's length is made up by its tail. Sometimes the tail is longer than the rest of the body. The Komodo dragon has wide-set legs that are very strong and muscular, allowing the animal to run up to 11 miles per hour. Just want to put that out there. 11 miles per hour is... think that is about as fast as a human. Let me think. So you have the 5-minute mile. So 12 miles in 1 minute. Okay, so slightly slower than a human. With the squat body and legs. So if you're ever being chased by a Komodo dragon, you better be able to run a 5-minute mile, multiple sets of... Now you probably wouldn't have to run more than a mile. Yeah. In a sprinting race, humans would probably win in a marathon. I mean, humans beat everything in a marathon. Each of its feet has 5 toes with sharp and curved claws on the ends. Komodo dragons are black, brown, or dark gray in color. Their heads are large, with strong jaws and sharp teeth. The Komodo dragon's tongue is long and yellow, and extremely sensitive. Its 2 normal eyes are set forward... Okay. I forgot about that. 2 normal eyes are set forwards on its head. Even more interesting is its 3rd, quote-unquote, eye on top of the head. This sensory organ is not a fully formed eye, but it can sense light and dark. Scientists think it is used to help the Komodo dragon keep track of the time of year. Komodo dragons are carnivores and fierce predators. Because they have no predators besides humans in their native habitats, they often hunt in the open. An adult Komodo dragon can swallow animals almost as large as themselves. When hunting, these animals frequently bite their victims, infecting them with a disease carried by the bacteria that inhabit the mouth of the Komodo. The victim will die within a few days, and the Komodo will return to feast on the carrion. These fierce reptiles have been known to kill humans on occasion. The nation of Indonesia, which includes the island of Komodo, is home to the Komodo Dragon. These reptiles prefer hot and humid lowlands, where they live among grasses or light covers of rainforest. Like all reptiles, the Komodo dragon is cold-blooded and must sun itself to maintain its body temperature. In the absence of illness or human threats, the Komodo dragon can live for 20 to 50 years. They spend their days hunting, sunning, swimming, and climbing trees. Sorry about that. And their nights hold up in dens. The Komodo dragon is mature at 5 years of age. Mature females can lay up to 30 eggs each year. These eggs incubate for 8 to 9 months, and the young hatch ready to care for themselves. So before I get on to my other facts, why did I compare them to the Dungeons & Dragons Black Dragon? Because that's the one with acid breath, which is the closest you get to poison in as far as dragons in the basic monster manual goes. So if you ever want to have your party go up against a Komodo dragon, just take the stats for an adult black dragon and just don't give it wings. Now that that side note's done, the Komodo Dragon. They are vulnerable. But again, as I mentioned, and as the game mentioned, the island of Komodo is pretty small. These are not endangered due to any of the normal factors. They've managed to survive having human interaction. Unlike some of the Galapagos Island animals, particularly, I forget which breed of tortoise it is. There's one member of, and he just can't or won't breed. This isn't the case with the Komodos. The Komodos they thrive in their habitat. They have a stable population, but endangered is how many are there worldwide, not how populous are they in their native habitat. So they are technically vulnerable, and if humans interfere, you could see the extinction of the Komodo dragon, which would wreak all sorts of havoc. If you getting rid of an apex predator is bad. Anyway, so the prey they generally eat they will eat pigs, either domesticated pigs that escape or wild boars. They're actually the same thing. Yes, a pig is technically a domesticated wild boar. By species. It's really fascinating. I highly recommend that you look up Tier Zoo pigs and watch it and the recommended video. And okay, I gotta stop. I'm talking about a thing that eats pigs. Komodo dragons eat pigs, deer, and water buffalo. They're only hunted by humans. And a neat little fun fact, part of the reason they're an apex predator, they do have strong scales, specifically because the scales are reinforced with a type of bone called an osteoderm, which literally means bone skin. So Komodo dragons are bone scales. They have bone scales. It's pretty cool. And let's see. Do I have a third? Yes, there is a third. There's a third endangered animal that does fit into the theme of this episode, insofar as it has a theme. I literally went in just going, hey, let's just see what's on the list. And then I just... Okay, this is going to be a little obnoxious. Yeah, so I didn't have a specific plan beyond just following my list. But since I've gotten 2 rainforest animals, it's time to get a gate. Hang on. It's a tape. It's a tape. The exhibit is tapered at the end. That was completely unintentional. What does it need? I need fresh water. Yeah, the Malayan Tapir. No prizes for guessing where it's from. Where its native habitat is. It's Malaysia. The Malayan Tapirs from Malaysia. Needs dirt. And I don't know if I've ever really mentioned this, but Zoo Tycoon, with its terrain type modification abilities, it generally, if it has the correct things, tries to stick to a proportional amount of everything that a particular species needs, like in the real world. So you have, it's like here you have rainforest and a watering hole. Strictly speaking, there would be, the grass should be here, and the rainforest floor should be there. But beyond that, hang on. Okay, yeah, Komodo Dragons don't need a shelter. You're hoofed. And you like the giant ficus tree. There we go. It says it's well suited, but I know they want rocks. Now, oh wait, that's why the tapirs were saying it was good. It's because I was looking at a Komodo Dragon. Anyway, Malayan Tapiers. The Malayan tapir, Tapirus indicus, is native to Burma, Thailand, the Indo-Chinese Peninsula, which includes Malaysia, and Sumatra. The ungulate-hooved mammal is also known as the sumset and munam, meaning water pig. Water pig is an appropriate name for this very large but harmless animal. Pigs are not harmless. Pigs are very much not harmless. Go watch Tier Zoo. Tier Zoo pigs. They are deadly. They are horrible. Anyway. Tapirs have the body shape of a huge pig, with a stumpy tail and a snout that resembles that of an anteater. The largest females have been known to weigh as much as 800 pounds, and some have grown to be 4 feet tall and 8 feet long. The Malaysian tapir has small eyes and a poor sense of sight. To make up for this, the tapir relies on its excellent hearing. Tapirs can also use their flexible snouts to smell and touch the objects they encounter. This ability is especially important to the tapir as it browses the forest floor for food. Malayan tapirs. Malayan? Malaysian tapirs are herbivores, able to feed on almost any low-lying leaves and branches. Wait. I just realized I should check my notes. Nope, that one's wrong. It's actually the Malayan tapir. Unless I get... Okay. Give me a moment. Okay, I'm back. It is Malayan. They are still from Malaysia. But yeah, so they're Malayan tapirs. Or the Asian tapir, or Asiatic tapir, or Oriental tapir, or Indian tapir, or piebald tapir. Any of those are valid. Apparently not Malaysian. I said I wasn't going to go into too much semantics, but that just jumped out at me. Anyway, they're able to feed on almost any low-lying leaves and branches, as well as downed fruit. Tapirs especially enjoy the leaves and branches of the mulberry tree and bananas. This is the part where I should probably specify. Actually, I don't know what type of bananas. They probably don't eat sweet bananas. The people who run banana plantations probably wouldn't want tapirs eating their product, because the sweet banana is not a naturally occurring fruit. The sweet banana is a sweeter and bigger form of what is naturally a banana. Kind of like how you have your wild strawberries versus domesticated strawberries, stuff like that. So, they probably don't eat the same bananas as you do. If you gave one to them, they probably would eat it. It would be incredibly sweet. It would give them a lot of sugar. But, it's not what they eat. Malayan tapirs are wonderful swimmers and divers, and always select ranges that contain bodies of water. They will often submerge themselves entirely, and remain that way for hours, walking around on the bottom of ponds or slow-moving rivers. Side note, sinking is a very rare trait to have. Tapirs do it. Elephants. I don't remember whether elephants sink or not, but the most notable one is the hippo can run underwater because it sinks. They're terrifying. Tapirs are not nearly as terrifying. Malayan tapirs are territorial and generally prefer to lead a solitary existence. Males mark their territory with urine to warn off competitors. Tapirs are mainly nocturnal, hiding from predators during the day and searching for food at night. Tapirs live in pairs during the breeding season. Females give birth to brown and white striped young. The stripes provide camouflage, but they fade as the tapir reaches adulthood. Tapirs are calm and friendly, and can be easily domesticated. They have been known to live up to 30 years in captivity. I don't think they're domesticated. I think they can be domesticated. I can't think of anyone who has domesticated the tapir. Tamed, yes. Domesticated, I don't think so. If you go back to, I think it was my previous video, Zoo Tycoon DLC Zoo Part 4, I think, had the elephants. It's either Part 4 or Part 3. Watch all of my parts anyway. It's good for the channel. But there is a big difference between domestication and taming. No, there's no real domestic tapir. There is no domestic Malayan tapir, as far as I can find. Admittedly, I just did a cursory search, but it basically says, it's basically telling me all about tapirs and how they don't live with humans. Anyway, some native hunters think the tapir has mystical protective powers, which provides them some protection from humans. But as the thick forests in which they prefer to live shrink, the species has grown more and more endangered. As their habitat gets smaller, Malayan tapirs have been forced to share their territory with the tigers, leopards, and wild dogs that are their natural enemies, further hastening the decline of the species. Now, I'm pretty sure I've definitely mentioned the wild dogs. You don't need me to tell you that tigers and leopards are fantastic ambush predators. Wild dogs are among the best. Canines and lupines are the best pack hunters in the wild. Vulpines are probably the third, just because there aren't that many group carnivores. Anyway, so the Malayan tapir is endangered, which is unfortunate because they are adorable. Ironically, one thing that I have to mention this, one way for a species to not go extinct is to be delicious to humans. If an animal is tasty enough, humans will make sure there is always a viable breeding population of them. Actually, there's a very sad story involving Texas ranchers who were keeping a sustainable population of a particular wild animal variant of the deer, and they would sell licenses to hunt a single deer, but as long as those were running, the species would have survived. And then animal activists went and said, no, you can't just have these for hunting. They're endangered. And it's like, well, we can't afford to just hold them here, so they release them because they had to, and that species is now extinct. Admittedly, there was no good outcome. Either you live to be killed by humans, or you just die and no longer exist. Anyway, Malayan tapirs. The game says they're nocturnal. I have them listed as crepuscular. Although, for some reason, their original natural predator, it was just tigers, because they live in the same environment. But tapirs are now being forced to go where, you have leopards who wouldn't normally bother with a tapir because they wouldn't be strong enough to bring them up a tree. But when trees are smaller, the thick branches are lower. That's my best guess. Do not quote me on that. And the Malayan Tapir is the largest species of tapir. However, it is endangered. This has been a very special episode of Zoo Tycoon. Admittedly, doing the endangered species automatically makes these very special episodes. Oh my word! What? What happened to the... What did the... How did the... Dogs aren't supposed to be able to do that. Look at all those dogs! Oh my word! How many dogs do I have? $16. Okay, hang on. Okay. I have 10 magnets. Remember, magnet was a single polar bear, not a species. Anyway, please do remember to like or dislike and cry over the endangered species, and or comment and or subscribe as the algorithm demands. But for now, this has been 18-2, and I will see you flying reindeer. I will see you guys next time.